What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Kiwan, and I am back with Ready to Love Season 11, Episode 13, Detroit Reunion Part 1. This was messy, but it was good. Anyway, before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Make sure y'all like the videos so I can stay in the algorithm. All right, let's just go ahead and talk about this reunion, because it starts with Tommy, giving an overview. We get the montage of the things that has happened, who was picked in the end. And Tommy tells us that Diamond decided, she couldn't make it, and they wish her well, which I totally forgot about her. She was the attorney. Okay, there were people on the stage that I totally forgotten about, but we're here. So Tommy feels like there is still chance and there is still hope for those people who haven't connected with anybody to reconnect. To reconnect with somebody they're interested in. They thought about showing interest in. Well, there is somebody who been way too connected, but whatever. So anyway, we get to the Vince and Donna montage of it all. And then Tommy asks, how is that timeline going? She said that they are no longer dating because 5 weeks after the process, she spoke with Lauren at the coffee shop and found out that Vince and Lauren was still talking. But Donna had no clue, and for that, she had to end things with Vince. So Tommy asked Vince, was there clarity between him and Donna about them dating other people? Vince says yes, but he never disclosed to Donna that he was still talking or dating Lauren. So Donna said they were clear on exploring their romantic connection with one another, and they were not ready to be exclusive in such a short time. So that meant they can be able to date other people, but Vince didn't disclose that he was still dating someone from the cast. And I'm like, oh, well, if you're telling somebody they can date, but you never said who they can date, then he's free to date whomever he wants. Anyway, I'm going to tell y'all this. Ashley, Dominique, and Ashante worked on my motherfucking nerves. Okay, with all that side talk. Shut up. Anyway, so Donna said, as far as Lauren, she understands her wanting to date someone and wanting to date, she understands, as far as Lauren, she understands her wanting to date someone she wanted to date. But if she was in Lauren's shoes after choosing someone else, there is no way Vince would have convinced me to date him. Then she said it makes her wonder what type of value and love a woman had for herself when she allowed to be second. And I'm looking at Donna like, ma'am, you may have been picked, but you wasn't the only one. Let's start there. And then you just said that y'all agreed to see other people, and now you're making it seem like you and Lauren are this close and this cool. Y'all probably don't even know, y'all know each other just by extension of the show. But anything else, you wasn't even this frustrated with Vince, but you got all of this energy for Lauren. Is that what we doing? Okay. But my other thing was her sitting on this stage, literally grandstanding as if she's up here and you're putting Lauren down, was very disgusting to me. Very. So Lauren said, listen, I'm not kissing, sleeping with nobody, nor have they had a chance to smell anything she had going on her body parts. She said she didn't appreciate that. Her issue wasn't with, and even when she did that, as she stated, my issue not with you, her issue is with Vince. Because she also said as soon as she found out, something wasn't right, she removed herself. So Tommy asked Vince if he understand why Donna was upset. Vince said, yeah, he did. And He wanted things to play out the way it did. You just didn't want to get caught. I don't care how many times you try to slice it and dice it. At the end of the day, you didn't want to get caught. And you got caught. And I'm glad your ass got caught. Okay? Tommy asked Vince, what does he want? He was like, well, if things would continue. So then Tommy asked Donna, did she want to continue things with Vince? She said she didn't know. And so you ma'am, just made that comment about Lauren and how, I guess she didn't value herself. But you saying you don't know, you open the door for a possibility is you not valuing yourself. Because if you did, you wouldn't even have anything to say to him. But I digress. Anyway, Vince felt like he should have over communicated. No, Vince, you play with words too much. You should have just been direct and honest. But you wasn't. You shouldn't have never lied or omitted. So Lauren is in a confessional booth, and she said she didn't play second fiddle to anyone, and she didn't think Donna existed. So basically, she didn't know that him and Donna was still a thing. Again, because he lied. He's been lying. So Donna got in her confessional booth and said when she ran into Lauren told her she washed her hands of everything Vince. But then Vince showed her the receipts of Lauren contacting him. And I'm pretty sure he deleted his responses and him calling her to make it look like she was all in this by herself. Which is why you have a door open for a maybe. Because at the end of this episode, you should be like, girl, boy, you. Anyway, because Donna actually, I knew she irks me, but I gave her a chance. But I really was annoyed. I was really annoyed. Anyway, we get the Cardi montage, and on stage with him is Dom, Ashanti, Ashley, Nicole, and Ed. Girl, I totally forgot about damn Ed. Anyway, Tommy asked Cardi about his metaphors and do people misinterpret him. He starts talking in riddles, acting like I don't know what everybody's talking about. I'm me. I'm just gonna be me. Yada yada yada. Fine, Cardi. So Dom tells Cardi nobody hated him because he said, hey, you hate me, blah blah blah. You love me, And so Dom was like, listen, nobody hates you. She said she was like, I got his jokes. She thought that they were quirky and cute. And when she get to know people, she don't need deep convos. She said they laughed and they joked a lot and it was cool. Dom, you didn't want to go deeper with Cardi because you already had your eyes set on Bello for day one. Point blank in the period. So everything else with all the other men was just surface. Why am I getting annoyed? Hey, I'm just saying. Okay. So Ashley decided she felt like Cardi was shallow. You felt like Cardi was shallow, and you picked what's his name? You felt like Cardi was shallow. Girl. Oh, Jesus Christ. I guess. Like, I was just like, girl, make it make sense to me, because you was the one who told, I think that was her. She told Richie that he wasn't masculine enough, but Cardi is shallow. But you have the man that have all the faux furs, faux fox, faux rabbits, and chinchillas. Huh? Oh, okay. All right. She felt like he was only in depth with Ashanti, girl, I guess. So they bring up the situation between Cardi X and Ashanti. She said they both had her messed up, and Cardi once again apologizes to Ashanti. So Tommy asked him if he was interested in another woman. Basically, he said he's still in contact with the women, but at the moment he's not interested in seeing anybody, and that's where we left it. So then we get to the Nicole and Ed segment of it all, which was very cringy to like replay it. Very embarrassing, if you ask me. But on stage, it's still the same people. Dom, Ashley, Ashanti, Cardi. You know, same people. So they play the package. And then Tommy asked Nicole, why was it so difficult? She said, you know, why was... Because he was like, you seem like you were the one eliminated. So why was it so difficult for you to eliminate Ed or whatnot? She said he was eliminated the next day, the day after their first date. So Ashley said to Nicole, you both been in college, and you've known him for a long time, so I'm sure they were in each other's faces. Ashley, your attitude was stink. Dom's attitude was stink. And I just didn't appreciate it. So Nicole tells Ashley they were not in each other's faces in college. Now can I speak? You know, I can appreciate Nicole. She don't seem confrontational. You know, so she kind of kept it cute. Anyway, Ed is extremely emotionally unavailable. Unless, you know what, I'm going to leave my opinion to myself. So Ashley is mad. You know, I just feel like, yes, Ed is emotionally unavailable, but the attitude and the energy you have, you're just pissed because you threw the ball at Ed and he didn't catch it. Anyway, Tommy asked, where are they now? Nicole said she was trying, but then she realized he's not interested. Again, Nicole had to come around in her own time. So Dom on the couch whispered, ouch, and Ashley said he was never interested. Ashley, he was never interested in you either, might I add. Girl, that lady was pissed. Oh, they both, all three, her and Ashanti too, was pissing me off with all these side conversations. So Ed said that their connection is just only platonic, basically. Tommy says to Nicole, Ed wasn't her other connection. Nicole says no. And so he was like, you want to tell us who? She was like, no, can I skip in it? And Tommy was like, no. Let me just park here real quick, because it's very convenient for Tommy to pull out things from the women, but for the men, you allow them to be surface, you allow them to be disrespectful, you allow them not to explain themselves or what they've done to other people. Okay? So we find out that Nicole was actually still talking to both Devon and Vince, but her romantic connection, which she didn't want to discuss, was Vince. After explaining everything, she said Vince without saying his name. She didn't know that he selected Donna in the end, nor did she know how he was moving this entire time. So now there's a third woman. So I would like to ask Donna, so are you going to have the same energy for Nicole, or is it just the same energy with Lauren? Because, yeah. As a matter of fact, where's your energy for Vince? Anyway, Vince walking backstage looking suspect as... And Steven told him, hey, yo, you, they talking about you. And so Nicole decided to explain her truth. She said her truth is, the day she was sent home, she had a conversation with Vince and she was open to dating him. She also said in that conversation, if he wanted to wait, you know, she asked if he wanted to wait to see how things play out in the end. And Vince was like, no, he wanted to keep dating her. And they both kept dating. So later on during the process, maybe, I guess she found out that he had selected Donna. And so she hit him up and was like, so did you select Donna? Are you with her? What's happening between you guys? And Vince lied, flat out lied, and said no. So Tommy asks if they've been hanging out and to what degree have they been hanging out. Nicole said as high as it could get, which means she gave him some or coochie. Okay? Girl, why would you do that? Even though she made him wait. Still, why would you do that? Whatever. So Nicole said Vince told her he had a conversation with Donna and they were on two different pages. Lying again. Let me say this. He did have a conversation with Donna. He's just omitting some things from the conversation he had with Donna. I'm going to say this about Miss Nicole because this doesn't make you the victim. And I hope you're watching this. If you're watching this, I am saying this with my full heart. The way you let this whack ass nigga play in your face is, I would say it's crazy to me, but I can see it. You give me, as soon as a man tell you hello, you are in love. It give me, I'm a girl that's looking for a fairy tale. I'm a hopeless romantic. That's what I get from you. And I need you not to do that. I need you not to do that. I need you to see people for who they are. So then we found out that Nicole didn't know anything about Lauren. So Vince grimy ass is in the back saying this is the most ridiculous thing ever. This is not cool. No, what's not cool is how you are an agent of chaos and you're trying to run game on all of these women until you get what you need from them. And then you probably ready to discard them. Anyway, so Nicole said how... Sorry, y'all. Nicole said the whole time, they talked the entire time, throughout this entire process. And Lauren said she was flabbergasted. Why? This was the same man who called you out of your name. You in fact kept giving all of these chances to. Once again, Vince couldn't get my time of the day at all. So Nicole said she sat quiet because she didn't want to get in while everybody was talking when we learned about him and Lauren. She sat there quiet the whole time because she didn't want to get into the middle of the mess. And Vince is still in the back saying this is not cool. Vince, shut up. Because for you to play in people's face is not cool. And I always say karma always circle back like a okay. And you are now getting your just due. And I'm not mad at it. Anyway, Donna is confronting Vince. Why? Because it definitely gave you and him were punching as well. Okay? So Vince is still lying. Like, you still coming up with excuses after excuses. Stand in your stuff. You the man who's always feeling like everybody should have thick skin, and you say what you mean and mean what you say. Stand in it. So Vince is saying Nicole is being messy. And why would she say that? Because you were lying. When I tell you Vince aggravated me this entire time, Nicole tells him basically just tell her if you are still dealing with other women. Like, I don't care about what you got going on. But what pisses me off is that you felt like you needed to handle this nigga with care, and he treated you like a ragamuffin and still denying what has happened in between you two. So she holds his hand, and then he's mad. So he's being off-putting because she tried to hug him. He was like, oh, no, get off of me. What did he say? He said, get off of me. I got, I got to go do hair, makeup, and whatnot. And then after he walks off, Nicole then apologized. Why are you apologizing? So then we get down to Christina Ina's segment. Devon, Vince, Bello, and Chris are on the stage, and they play her package. So Tommy asked, why did she ask these men for a massage? She said She asked no man for not one thing. You did, and you wanted them to volunteer their money. Like, girl, get out of my face with this. But if they gonna do it, then oh well, and I'm not mad. So Devon, aka Captain Save a Lady, aka the male pick me, he was like, well, I thought I was the only one. Like, sir, you and your delusions, like, you've been on planet delusion since you came on. Your awareness is terrible. So Vince said to Devon, she really tricked you. And Vince, you've tricked the other women. And why are you even on the stage? But I guess you're being a seat filler. So again, whatever. Once again, Christina started gaslighting everybody, or she thinks she's gaslighting everybody. She said in order for her to find out who she's locked in with before she give them her heart, because the Bible said guard your heart. Show me you are a man of God. Show me you are a provider. And the way she lowered her tone as if she was making a difference in what she was saying. Like, cause what she was saying was bullshit. If we gon' keep it a buck, you asked those men for money. You expected them to do things for you, because on your outside of this show, you get whatever it is that you want. Anyway, backstage, Dom, Ashley, and Ashanti still jaw jabbing. Girls, ugh. Anyway, so as Christina Ina continues her monologue, she said, if y'all have not set y'all life up to want to provide or take care of a woman, then you're not looking for a wife. And I was like, girl, call them men broke. I feel like you calling them broke without saying they broke. Anyway, Christina feels like because her face card and her skin color has gotten her into many rooms and into different places, she felt the way because her face and skin color was declined. I'm not saying she's ugly. I'm saying she didn't get what she wanted out of this process, what she thought she was going to get out of this process. Like, you thought you was going to come on and finesse, and you didn't get that. And you thought your looks and your skin tone alone was going to get you those things, because they have afforded you those things over time. Anyway, and another thing, you just met these men. So for you to expect them to financially assist you in one way or another is crazy work. Anyway, Bello is talking about her love language, talking about it gotta be acts of service and I forget the other one. Bello, be quiet, because like men, most men like physical touch. Y'all also like when you're doing something for a woman, you expect something in return. So to me, that didn't make sense either. I mean, it made sense, but for me, yeah, no, please. Anyway, I skipped over the who said that segment, because I don't care who said it. All right. So then we get to Dom and Bello. And we seen the whole time, I saw the whole time, Dom attitude was, she had a mug on her face the entire time. So Ashanti, Lauren, Cardi, and Devon were all on the stage. And I just want to point out how hard you went for Bello and how you was acting towards Lauren, and now we're here. Okay, girl. So y'all, Dom said when she met Bello, she chose him since day one. Things happen, and sometimes things happen and sometimes they don't. So after the journey, they continued dating. They were seeing each other 2 to 3 times a week. Bello met everybody in her family. Everybody liked them. Tommy said everything is past tense. She said because they're no longer together, which we all knew that. Shannon is backstage talking about I told them, girl, what is that? What is that? But okay. Bello apparently called Dom on Christmas Eve saying that they needed to talk. He said after considering everything that's going on, this isn't for him. So Dom asked, what are you talking about? Because he was just in her bed 2 days prior to that. And he also took her and her kids out. So they were together all the time and they never had an argument. Bello tells Dom he didn't see her fitting his future he see him having a wife and having a wife with children, and he don't see that from her. Sir, you have a daughter, and I'm gonna be crass as hell. Not crass. You have a daughter that lives in Florida who you barely get to see. So how dare you talk about this lady knowing you knew her situation, her about her not being able to have kids, and then you're gonna sit here and act like you was cool with the whole situation. Meanwhile, you wasn't. I told y'all he was full of shit. I knew he was. I figured they had they liked each other, but he was on bullshit the whole time. So he said he was so involved with Dom, and he was so sucked into Dom that he didn't see what he wanted for himself. That's bullshit. You wanted to win. You used this lady. You slept with this lady. You got everything you needed and wanted from her, and now you were ready to discard her. Anyway, Dom said she didn't deserve that. And because Dom got on my nerves, I'm going to say this. This lady did not deserve that. She didn't. She said if he would have been like, listen, I can't do this. She said she would have just took it on the chin and be like, okay, go do you. But to blame her is a whole nother entity. Like, you're going to sit here and blame me because this ain't going right in your life. She said that his whole decision was never about her. It was about him and what he didn't have going on in his life and in his businesses. So Bello for me is giving brokey, and Bello sitting there with his facial expression looking like, what are you talking about? You know exactly what this lady is talking about, and I believe every word Dom is saying. She said that she never had a chance to meet his family, and it was because he had a whole girlfriend. And this is where the episode ended. I said, girl, y'all, cause ain't shit. Okay? So, yes, that is all I got for Ready to Love. This is your girl QI reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.